Good morning, everyone. Baltimore Bob here, checking back in with Shroom Supply Store. It is 3:07 a.m. I have not been able to sleep tonight because I'm so excited to teach you guys how to make your own grain spawn bags using corn. So today we're going to be using feed corn. I love feed corn because you can get it at all of your local feed stores. It is inexpensive, and the mycelium just loves that sugar. It latches right onto it, and it really speeds up colonization times. So let me grab some coffee, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll get started. So here's what we need. We need, of course, our corn. We need our strainer, a large pot, a pressure cooker, and these grain spawn bags. Actually, distilled water as well. You can get this, and these on Amazon. I am not sponsored by Amazon, but hoping to get some sponsors soon. So if you could please subscribe if you like my videos, that would be awesome. One side note, I have only used distilled water. I have a well here, and just for quality control purposes, I've always used distilled water. If you have a well and you've done this kind of stuff before, please post in the comments. I would love to learn. You can save you some money, that would be awesome. So let's go with step one. All right, so I'll post all the steps in the description below. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and measure out our corn. This is pretty much rule of thumb, whether it be corn, rye berry, whatever you use, typically it expands about 50% once it's hydrated. So right now I am going to use this 4-cup measuring cup, 5 all the way to the top. I could do the math for you, but I don't really feel like it. We're gonna be making 6 2.5 pound grain bags tonight. So I'm gonna use about 22 cups, 23 cups. So, just gonna put that in the strainer. We're gonna rinse this out really nice. All right, once this is nice and rinsed, we're gonna get our large pot, put about 1.5 gallons of water in it. I just rather go a little bit more than less because the corn really does take up a lot of water once it's soaked. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the stove top. Set it to high, and I'll be back in like 10 minutes. While we are waiting for our water to boil, let's meet Hank. Who's a good boy? He's the cutest, most ridiculous lab in the entire world. So whether you like animals or mushrooms or both, you should definitely subscribe because you're gonna probably be seeing a lot of this guy. Once your pot comes to a roaring boil, you're gonna go ahead and add the corn. You wanna make sure that the water level is about 3 inches above the corn. You don't need to get all of this stuff out. Doesn't really affect anything, but I'm going to because, I don't know, it really annoys me. Then I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer for 30 minutes. We'll come back, check the consistency, and go from there. So I checked the consistency after 30 minutes and realized I needed about another 10 minutes or so. So with that, let me show you what we're looking for. So we want these to be hydrated on the inside, but dry on the outside. So you know when it's done, you want to be able to break it between your fingers. You want to be able to take a little bite out of it, but you don't really want to be able to squeeze it unless you try really hard. That's what you're going for right there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and drain it and then lay it out to dry. Now I know everybody has their own way of drying. This just works for me. Use my island, put some towels down, put a bed sheet over, and then as you'll see, I'm gonna spread it over, let it chill for, I don't know, 2 to 8 hours or so. Come back, check it, and then we'll wrap it in the bag, throw it in the pressure cooker, and move on. All right, here we are 9 hours later. I've been letting this chill for 9 hours. There's no really perfect science as far as how long you need to let it air out for. You just basically want to be able to, you know, shake it in your hands, but if you grab it, you want to feel that stickiness. That's the glucose coming out, and it's very, very important. That's what the mycelium is going to grab onto, and that will help your colonization. All right, we're gonna need our digital scale from Amazon. 16-ounce cup, I prefer the Ravens, and our bags. No need to tear off the weight of the bag because it weighs pretty much nothing. So we are going to fill this up. Let's see what we got. 9, we want this 2.8. 277. 2.82 works for me. How sticky my hands are from messing with this substrate. I mean, that's good stuff. Like I said, that's exactly what the mycelium is going to latch onto. All right, we have 5 more to fill. I'm just gonna fill the second one. I have actually 12 bags to do today. I'll have 2 pressure cookers going, so I will speed up the process for you a little bit. Yeah, 294, yeah, that'll work. All right. Now we are going to need our rubber bands, which I lost. Here we go. This is a very important part of the process. So you see you have this fold, these 4 folds in the bag, right? You want to make sure you pinch at the bottom, and then right in the middle where that patch is, you want the patch facing outside because it does need some sort of oxygen. It forms carbon dioxide when it is in the bag, but there needs to be some air exchange. You're going to wrap that nice and tight. It's important when you wrap it that you have that nice crease right there. Push a little air out of the bag. You don't have to wrap it with a rubber band. I like to. And then just go ahead and get most of the air out of there. And that is absolutely perfect. Great, one more. Then we'll get pressure cooking. Press out a little bit of air, and then make sure that's nice and sealed. And again, we want the patch sticking out. Here we go. I'm going to put 6 of these in each of the pressure cookers. So all right, this is our empty one. This is our full one. Little guy will get caught on one of the bags if you don't put it in there, like I did not. So I have 6 of them in there. These are actually 3-pound bags. I think this was like 140, 150 bucks. Like the best investment other than a HEPA filter, which you'll see in maybe this video or another. What we're going to find some little metal stand like this, just so it keeps the bags off of the bottom of it. You don't want excess water in there. You get this with your pressure cooker. You put that right on top of there. And we're going to take each bag and we're going to put it in just like that. And we're going to go all the way around, just like we did with here, with this one. So I've already filled that one with water. Sorry, I missed this little step, which is so important. All right, I'm gonna grab one of my mason jars. Fill it with water. I am using tap water because this is going to absolutely kill every germ in the entire world. So it does not matter. I'm gonna put 3 of these jars. Actually, I'm gonna put like 3.5 in. If you have like 4 of these bags in, I mean, you could even use like 2.5 cups, but I would rather make sure it does not run out of steam. I've had that happen, I had them burn, and it is a giant pain in the ass. All right, so I put that amount of water in this one already. Push this down a little bit more so you have the little arrow right here. And make sure your seal's on very well. You want to absolutely wash this. You don't really need to completely sterilize, but definitely make sure it's nice and clean. You're gonna want to line it up with that arrow. Twist it on, and then we'll cut. If you have like a 3 or 4-year-old, definitely hide this somewhere. I have a nice little hiding spot back here because they will absolutely take them and lose them in ridiculous places. Set this to very high. It'll take about 15 minutes or so, but you will see you want the PSI to go up to at least 1500. Basically, just know as soon as this starts jiggling. So yeah, we'll come back in like 15 minutes or so. In the meantime, I'll do the rest of these bags. All right, as you can see, our pressure regulator is jiggling. You can look at the PSI. It's at just over 15 right here, about 17 right here. I can turn this down just a little bit. Put the clock to 1:30, and we'll come back an hour and a half, and we should be good to go. Then we're gonna let them cool down, and we're good. While we're waiting for our grain bags to sterilize, I just wanted to take a quick second and talk about safety. These are no joke at all. PSI stands for pounds per square inch, which basically means that if one of these falls over, it will explode. It will maim you, if not kill you. So I do not mess around with pressure cookers at all. You want to make sure you're very safe. You're not going to want to touch these or move these at all as soon as it starts to wiggle like that. The other thing is dogs and children. I will not let my kids be in the kitchen at all. I will move my dog into another room while this is going on because, again, it is very dangerous and we don't want to mess around with that. So just wanted to at least give you that side note because it is so important. I cannot stress it enough. Alrighty, so I turned the heat off about 20-30 minutes ago. I'm gonna go ahead and let these sit for the night. We will discuss in the next part of this video the importance of temperature and humidity and what that's gonna do to the bags. So for right now, we're gonna let these get down to room temperature, and then we'll move on to the last piece of the video. All right, everyone, welcome to my lab. This is where all the magic happens. And welcome to the final phase of learning to make our own grain spawn bags at home. So this is our pressure cooker. I let this chill all night long because I want it to get to room temperature. Reason for this is we typically work in an area that is room temperature and we don't want a serious shift in temperature. So let's say I pull this out and it's still steaming, it's 90, 120 degrees inside. As soon as it hits the cool air, it's going to cause excess condensation that will in turn lead to cooling water and then of course green mold, which clearly we don't want. Up to this point, we have not cared about contamination, so we have not sterilized anything, but as soon as we break the seal, it's sterilization, sterilization, sterilization. So for this process, what we're going to need is a clean work environment. This is my HEPA filter. It is a 2x4 by 6 inch. It is going to guarantee 99.997% of any contaminants are not going to be in our workspace. You can obviously build one of these. I think I spent $2,000 on it, but you can also get a 1x1 online for about $500. You can also get a still air tent. I've never used them before. I know they're very cheap, but have heard that they're effective. So I do a ton of work, which is why I have a large HEPA filter. It's gonna be very loud, so I'm really hoping you can hear me during the rest of this video. We're going to need these self-sealing ports. We're gonna need our sealer. Of course, our isopropyl alcohol. We are using 70% because if you use 90, it's gonna evaporate too quickly. So we definitely wanna make sure we're using 70. So I'm gonna pop this on, and again, hopefully you hear me, and let's get it done. I've been told I use way too much isopropyl alcohol, but I've gone through a lot of stuff in this business, and contamination is an absolute nightmare. So rather be safe than sorry. All right, as I mentioned, as soon as you break the seal, contamination on. So I am going to wipe around here, get it as close to my working area as possible without touching it. And I'm going to pop this off and pull them out as quickly as possible. Ooh, that's so good. I'm gonna touch that. All right, we're down to 5. Discard the rubber band. I like to spritz the outside, can't hurt. Now I'm gonna prepare these for inoculation via liquid culture, which is why I'll be using these ports. So if you do what I said correctly, you see that really nice seal. You just gently open it up. You don't want to break the seal too much. You want a little bit of oxygen in there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to the sealer. Keep it in about the same fold we have it. Won't be perfect, but that's fine. Once, I always seal it twice, just to make sure. All right, so we have a nice tight seal on there. You're gonna put the injection port right about where the grain bag hits, the grain where other level hits. And that was good to go. Do one more. Break the seal. Put a little air in there. Wrap it back up. And reseal. All right, that's how you do it. Oh yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. God, I love mycology. All right, well, that's about it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post below. If you want to hit me up directly, my email is support@shroomsuppplystore.com. If you have some time, please take a look at my website. I have a lot of cool stuff. I have a number of different liquid cultures. I have fully colonized agar plates, and of course, I have my Mushroom Madness Grow Kit, which is awesome. There's nothing like it on the market. You can grow your own mushrooms in 14 to 21 days. So that's it, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.